How are we doing today, guys? It's Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. And apparently when you poke the eye of the devil, he unleashes the gates of hell and all the demons come out to play, because there are some very nasty things going on since the Roe V Wade leak has gone on, and it's something you're not going to see a lot in the mainstream news because it doesn't fit their narrative and it's not something they're going to cover. So that's why we exist. That's why this channel exists, to cover the things that they don't want to cover and to talk about the things that they don't want to talk about and be put in forward for the general audiences to be able to see, because it's a horror show out there right now and a lot of bad things are happening because guess what? We're starting to win. And that's what scares them. Now that they realize we're fighting back and we're actually pushing back, the gates of hell are opened and all the demons are here. So we're going to check out this article from lifesitenews.com and talk about some of the absolute horrible things that have been going on to these pro-life clinics around there, the ones that are, anti-baby murder, as it were, from lifesitenews.com. But before we get into this article, as always, if you can, please hit that like button down below, subscribe if you are not already, and share this with all your friends, because it doesn't cost you a thing except a little bit of time, and it really does help this channel grow. So let's get into this article from lifesitenews.com. And this is a full list: pro-abortion vandalism, pro-baby murder vandalism, church storming over possibility Roe v. Wade will fall. A running list of prohibition attacks after the leaks of a draft Supreme Court opinion overturning Roe v. Wade and allowing states to make their own abortion laws. Oh, what a tragedy. Our system will actually work the way it's supposed to. Over Mother's Day weekend, there was a variety of pro-abortion vandalism and vulgarity over the possibility that abortion on demand through all 9 months of pregnancy may no longer be the norm in much of the U.S., should states be able to set their own abortion laws. Pro-life activists expect some activity to continue through the spring and summer, particularly if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Abortion activists disrupted Mass in Los Angeles and protested outside a Catholic church in New York City. I did a video on that the other day. Go check that one out if you missed that. I talked about the whole video and showed some of the clips and everything else, so make sure you go check that out. The New York abortion supporter blocked the doors of Old St. Patrick's and screamed about killing the babies. The headquarters of a Wisconsin pro-life group was firebombed and vandalized. Several Catholic churches and pro-life pregnancy centers were also vandalized. In response to the leaked Supreme Court opinion overturning Roe v. Wade, the 1973 decision that imposed abortion on demand across the country, an abortion activist called for widespread disruption of Catholic masses. The leak opinion, which Chief Justice John Roberts said is authentic but not a final position of the court, would allow states to pass their own abortion laws. Catholic churches across the U.S. braced for attacks on Sunday, with the Thomas More Society warning the pro-abortion group called Ruth Sent Us that we will gladly represent any church or person of faith who seeks legal recourse against you or your protesters for your unlawful disruption of a religious worship services, and Virginia Attorney General Jason Mars vowing the civil rights of Virginia worshipers will not be violated by mobs. Below, LifeSite News presents a list of instances of vandalism targeting pro-life places and disruptions of Catholic masses since the leak of the Supreme Court draft. This list will be updated if more incidences occur. If there's an incident missing from the list, please email information and documentation to submit@lifesizenews.com. Okay, so this is how far back it goes. So this is May 8th. So this is last week. This is over the weekend. May 8th, 2022, Salem, Oregon. Oregon Right to Life offices were attacked with incendiary devices. They were firebombed. Late Sunday night, when asked if the attacks on the building was inspired by the Supreme Court draft decision, Louise Anderson, the executive director of Oregon Right to Life, said, "We don't know for sure because there was no graffiti or messaging left." Okay, but come on, this is pretty obvious at this point. May 8th, 2022, Manassas, Virginia. First Care Women's Health Pro-Life Pregnancy Center was vandalized with graffiti reading, "Abortion is a right." May 8th, 2022, Los Angeles, California. Pro-abortion activists were escorted out of the Cathedral of Our Lady of Angels after they attempted to disrupt a Sunday Mass that was taking place in the cathedral, which I think is the video I put out yesterday, because it was in Los Angeles. May 8th, 2022, Madison, Wisconsin. The headquarters of pro-life advocacy group Wisconsin Family Action was set ablaze in an act of arson and vandalism in the early hours of the morning on Mother's Day. A Molotov cocktail was thrown into one of the offices through a window, and although it failed to ignite, arsonists started another fire that burned one of the walls and wrote in graffiti on the outside of the building, "If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either." Sounds like a direct threat to me. May 8th, right here in our own state of Texas, 2022, Katy, Texas, the Tabernacle of St. Bartholomew, the Apostle Catholic Church, was stolen. We don't know who did it, but the police are investigating. Please pray for us and those who committed this criminal sacrilege. Tweeted the parish's pastor, Father Christopher Plant. While the perpetrators have not been identified, some are speculating that members of the radical pro-abortion group Ruth Sent Us may be responsible, considering the group announced Saturday on Twitter will be burning the Eucharist to show our disgust for the abuse Catholic churches have condoned for centuries. May 7th, 2022, Washington, D.C. A man vandalized the headquarters of Concerned Women for America by ripping out its intercom system and urinating on CWA's doors and windows. This is an activist who has made it very clear that he doesn't like our position on the issue of life and of other issues, including the idea that biological women matter. For the last few weeks, he has harassed our staff, he's thrown things at our building, and he's thrown things on cars inside our secure parking area. CWA President Penny Nance told Fox News, but it escalated this weekend. May 7th or 8th, 2022, Denton, Texas. A pro-life pregnancy center called the Laredo House was vandalized over Mother's Day weekend, with her graffiti sprayed on its doors, walls, and street signs. The message read, "Not a clinic, and forced birth is murder." That's literally the direct opposite. Nobody dies when you give birth. Well, not most of the time. As long as nothing goes wrong, nobody dies when you give birth. That is ridiculous. May 7th, 2022, New York, abortion activists blocked the entrance to Old St. Patrick's Cathedral, taunting pro-life activists who were gathered for a monthly prayer vigil that they had held for 14 years on the first Saturday of every month, except for some of the 2022 shutdown. National Review's Catherine Jean Lopez reported, she added, "As always during these incidents, I'm overwhelmed by how angry and obviously hurt so many of the people who showed up this morning are. I'm killing the babies," one protester screamed while waving around dolls wearing a one-piece bathing suit. These people are sick. So here's some of the pictures from it. You can see some of the stuff. And of course, it's always the Antifa, the anarchist symbols that are involved that always leads back to the same groups. Antifa, DSA, Black Bloc. It's always the same kind of people. Protect abortion patients, which, rest in peace. It's just, these people are sick, man. All right, the list continues. May 7th, 2022, Fort Collins, Colorado. St. John the 23rd Catholic parish in Fort Collins, Colorado was vandalized by a masked man who spray painted "My Body, My Choice" on the church. May 7th, 2022, Maryland and North Virginia, pro-abortion protesters descended on the homes of Supreme Court justices and multiple news sites that reported that Justice Samuel Alito, who authored the leak opinion, and his family were moved to an undisclosed location for your safety. And I think that's something that's been talked about in the news a lot lately, at least on the conservative side of things. These people are committing an illegal act because they are getting involved in the process of justice. If you try to influence the justice system in any way, shape, or form, it is punishable by up to a year in prison. All of these protesters are clearly violating that law, interfering in the process of justice, and no one's got arrested yet. That's bullshit. May 6th, 2022, Portland, Oregon. Pro-life activist Lola Rose tweeted images of a pro-life pregnancy center vandalized by Antifa pro-abort men. They are attacking and putting out hits on pregnancy centers in Portland, Oregon. Rose reported, because it drives pro-abort men to violent rage to think that women will have support to choose life. Good comment, little snarky, but accurate statement. May 4th, 2022, Armada, Michigan, St. Joseph's Priory, which is run by the Society of St. Pius X, who was vandalized with satanic graffiti. May 3rd, 2022, Boulder, Colorado, Sacred Heart of Mary Parish was vandalized with pro-abortion graffiti. So that's the end of the list. So there's a whole bunch of bad actors running around, pro-baby murder people that are running around and seriously screwing things up, and they're going to end up killing somebody, is what's going to end up happening. They're going to end up seriously hurting somebody, and this is going to turn out really bad. So this is something you need to talk about. This is something people need to be aware about. This is something you need to share around with your friends so they know the kind of violence that we are going up against. The demons are free on the earth, and they are roaming around. Hell does not like being challenged. Hell does not like being pushed back on. And with Roe V Wade and with the rest of the culture changing and the tide is starting to turn, I honestly believe that. I see it. I feel it. Hell is not going to go quietly back into its hole. We are going to have to shove it back in there forcefully and slam those gates and lock them and hope for at least for another generation we don't have to deal with this crap again. But it's going to take fighting back. It's going to take exposing their evil that they're doing out there and making sure that everybody's aware of it so people are conscious of it and we can all fight back together. So hey guys, that's just my common sense take on everything. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you do enjoy my content, hit that like button, share it with all your friends, and subscribe if you are not already, because it costs you absolutely nothing and it really does help the channel out. This is Jesse with the Common Man Corpus Christi, bringing you news and politics through a common sense lens. Thanks for watching.